And if you want to see me try even if these either for future like Hi, my name is Kaya here at Style Pioneer. Welcome. You're going to love it here. I'm very excited for spring 2026. Here where I am, it's still very cold. We have snow on the ground. It's no longer aesthetically pleasing, and I'm ready for something fresh, new, and just ready to switch up the wardrobe. So we're going to get into trends, why they are emerging, what it means for the trend, how it has drawn inspiration from society, what's happening right now in the current state of the world. And then I want to just hear from you guys of how you plan to wear these trends, or any trends that you are gravitating towards, or anything that seems new and fresh that you want to try in your own wardrobe. Before we hop into the trends, I want to talk about the trend cycle. Are you familiar with it? Do you truly understand how trends originate, why they peak, how they peak, and what it means for a trend to decline? The trend cycle has 5 stages. There's the introduction, and this is where trends start to emerge. So that can rather be from the runway to what you're seeing on the streets, what you're seeing in small societies. This is where the trend starts to take form. From there, it goes into the rise stage. This is where it starts to grow. This is the growth stage where popularity is on the rise here. So you start to see it maybe on not just the innovators and the mover and shakers, but a bit more celebrities, and it may start to be in some of the more fashion forward stores. Next part of the stage is peak. This is where it's maximum popularity. This is where it is super saturated. You may find it in your Zara's, your H&M's, your Mango's, department stores. This is where any and everywhere this trend is being seen, being shown, and they're pushing it, pushing it, pushing it. Once it's peaked, it then has to hit a decline. This is where people are kind of over it. It may be on like your Amazons, your Sheins, maybe on a little more lower end fast fashion stores and markets, but most of the innovators and the mover and shakers, they're really over it by the time it really hits peak, but definitely have got out of the trend stage once it hit the decline. After it hits its decline, it moves into the obsolescence stage. This is where it begins to become obsolete. It's now out of style. Most people are not wearing it anymore, and a new trend is starting to emerge. The first trend we have is what I'm calling the heritage reboot. So in spring 2026, we had an unprecedented number of new creative director debuts at really big, large fashion heritage legacy houses. So there was a lot of movement into designers, creative directors coming from one house to another. It was really interesting and exciting to see how they put their spin and their take on these legacy houses. The designers aren't just creating clothes, they're reimagining the brand's entire identities while still respecting the archives. New creative directors are saying, I know where I came from, but here's where I'm going. Really honing in on the heritage, the legacy of that brand, and not going too far astray, but putting their own spin on it. After years of minimalism and quiet luxury, the hunger for personality is greater than ever before, and this is what these designers have done. Let's start with Mathieu Blasi, moving from Bottega to Chanel, one of my favorite brands, and I love what he's done here. He's introduced new drop-waist silhouettes. The Oxford shirt was the talk of the town. His modern take on pencil skirts was very interesting here too. Next, we have Dario Vitale, debuted at Versace with ultra sexy power dressing. Nothing less than what you expect from Versace, which is already known to be a super sexy brand. Louise Trotter, very, very excited for her debut here. A few other creative directors that really stood out here. We have Jonathan Anderson at Christian Dior, Pier Pialo at Balenciaga, Demna at Gucci, Doran Lantique at Jean Paul Gaultier. Speaking of optimism, we see this next trend really take shape and hone in on the spirit of hope and cheer, with the Pantone color of the year being Cloud Dancer, aka something more similar to a balanced white, and stores full of burgundy and brown. I think we can all say we're ready for something new, and thus we have our chartreuse moment. This bright yellow-green shade we saw really take over the runways, where it was in a skirt, in a top, in a full dress. From a trend forecasting perspective, color is psychological, and designers choosing bright, saturated hues signals growth and spring energy without being predictably pastel. Chartreuse is fresh, it's unexpected, and it really can work well with any neutral in your wardrobe. This was shown on the runway by TB, Simone Roca, Dries Van Noten, mixed it within its prints. Prada and Erdem also had touches of chartreuse on their runway. This next trend is very interesting and may be one of my personal favorites. I absolutely love the juxtaposition of dressing, where you see unexpected items that actually work really, really well together. This here is hybrid dressing. This is where evening wear, streetwear, lingerie, athletic wear, the lines are blurred and it all somehow works together really, really well. High fashion meets basics, but it is also very practical where you can actually wear pieces more than once a year, more than for that special occasion, and really, really stretch your wardrobe here. This is where you can dig in your closet and maybe pull out pieces that you haven't worn in a while and see how you can remix them, try new outfits and do new things. This is the trend for you. So it's t-shirts with evening skirts, track jackets with statement piece bottoms, whether that's a statement skirt or statement pant. It's tailored tops paired with unconventional athletic shorts. Workwear is reimagined here with a button-down top mixed with a corset, garter, belt, or jeans mixed with a skirt over it, or a t-shirt, or just a mix of layering pieces that somehow all come together and it works really well. A few brands that had this on the runway were Miu Miu, Area, Sacai, Jane Wade, Kate Burton, Coperni, and Odelinger. You may have heard this before, but it really rings true today. The 80s are back, and today we have the 80s Power Redux. In the original, the 1980s, where women were now entering into corporate America in unprecedented numbers. So it was all about power dressing. This is where you had big shoulders, skinny pants. Women at the time, kind of still rings true today, were battling equality, space, and power. Fashion is here to continue to empower women today with the exaggerated shoulders, sharp pencil skirts, and bold silhouettes. This trend is tied to socio-political moments, women's rights, workplace dynamics, visibility in male-dominated spaces, all influence how we dress and why we dress the way we do in this workplace. Few key designers here were Givenchy, Stella McCartney, Saint Laurent, Valentino, and Chloe. This is a new take on cutouts, a bit different than what we've seen before in the past, and it is reveal and conceal. The cutouts here are more architectural, where skin showing is very strategic. It's all about where do I want to draw the eye, not how much skin can I show. This trend really shifts the narrative from around the male glaze to personal agency, where women are reclaiming their power and their sensuality on their own terms. Tom Ford showed plunging necklines paired with a single side cutout. McQueen revived the iconic bumpster, low-rise silhouette from the archives. Hermes, which is typically conservative, even showed low-cut leather bustiers. This next trend is really interesting from a fashion trend forecasting perspective. Fashion has always reflected societal concerns. In times of uncertainty, whether it's economic or political, safety-related protective design always seems to emerge. This trend specifically shows how fashion adapts to meet practical needs without sacrificing style. This is armor and protection. On the runways, we saw breastplates at Yuhan Wang, armored-inspired structures at Burberry, and chainmail at Chopova Lowena. We even saw aprons at Miu Miu. Utility is the new accessory here, with bags shown at Calvin Klein and Prada to padded leather jackets over at Odelinger. Chains are also a really key statement here for this trend, whether it's chainmail, layered chain necklaces, chains as bag handles, you name it, chains are in. Now you can never go wrong with this next trend, and I always have a deep appreciation every time I see it. While some designers went really loud with color, others doubled down on very much design sophistication, and so we have monochrome mastery. Minimalism isn't boring. It is considered, intentional, and ultimately timeless. This is your fail-safe trend. Monochrome dressing works for every body type, every budget, every aesthetic, and every occasion. Totem did an entire collection in black and white. It was chic and timeless. We saw Calvin Klein's sophomore collection from Veronica Leone featuring off-white dresses with scarves. Saint Laurent's collection was started off with full of black and white, but the brown monochrome looks were really, really great. The neutrals were refreshing to see on Alberta Ferretti, Ferragamo, and Monse. It isn't only black and white. This trend is an easy way to pull staples from your closet and dress up, no matter where you're going, what the occasion is, or the time of day or how you feel. And if you don't feel inspired, monochrome looks, whether it's the same shade, whether it's a mix of the same colors in different shades, very easy to pull off while still feeling very confident in your look. This season is all about confidence, creativity, and finding your own way to express yourself. I'd love to know, what are you wearing? What are you definitely not wearing? I want to hear from you. Write down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Like, comment, and subscribe. Turn your notifications on for more fashion and lifestyle related content.